Hey friends, welcome back. And welcome to this week's reading vlog. I'm so excited for this one because it's looking like I'm going to be reading two of my most anticipated books like ever. In last week's reading vlog, I did a spinner wheel to determine how many pages I was supposed to read every single day. And I really want to keep that energy going, but I want to do it in a different way. So already this morning, I put some polls on my Instagram stories and you guys are unknowingly deciding how much I'm reading every single day, as well as what book I will be reading predominantly for this video. The polls have only been up for an hour, but it already seems like we're gonna have a couple clear winners. So unless they change, I'll check again later, but this is what it's looking like is going to happen. I put this poll up for everyone to choose a color, and each color had a corresponding page number that I will be reading today. And I'll be doing a poll like this every single day that I'm not at the hospital. Because if you didn't know, I'm also an ICU nurse. So the days that I'm there, I don't really vlog that much, but every other day, we are here together. So as of right now, green has the overwhelming lead. And at that point, it doesn't really look like it is going to go any other way. And of course, that is the case because green is labeled as 225 pages in my predetermined color page count that I did. I had a feeling that green was gonna win, so 225 pages it is. Then I also put this poll on my story for you guys to determine what book I'm going to read based on just a color and some emojis. And again, with this one, it is very much looking like the blue is going to win pretty clearly. Can you tell what I was trying to do with the emojis? Can you guess? Let me actually get what the yellow book one was so that you can see what you're missing out on if you didn't vote for it. Okay, the yellow book was Chain Gang All-Stars by Nanakwame Adjei-Brenyah. And the blue book, if it wasn't obvious, is going to be Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. I am kind of glad that this one won, only because it is Steph's book club pick in her Patreon, and I am going to be her co-host this month, or I should say next month, and I obviously need to read it. So it's good for that reason, but also because I've had this book even as an ARC for months and months, and I just still haven't picked it up because I don't know, I am who I am. So we will be reading Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil for this reading vlog, but I am also reading The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. Yes. Did you think I was gonna say Dungeon Crawler Carl book? Because that is also a high probability. I finished The Butcher's Masquerade last night and I truly don't understand how I'm supposed to pick up anything else. This reading vlog is, yeah, like it's a fun, choose my reading for the week type of vlog, but it's also a proof for myself, to myself, that I can read things other than Dungeon Crawler Carl. I need to prove that to myself. So we have a 225 page requirement for today. We will be reading these two books in this video. Everything is going to be spoiler free for this version of the video. I am putting out an extended version of this video for my Patreon with full spoiler thoughts for Shadow of the Gods. So if you're watching this in the public sense, don't worry, there will be zero spoilers. But if you want spoilers, join my book club. We would love to have you. I'll leave the link down below. We have a fun time. Already this morning, I have actually been reading The Shadow of the Gods. So let's talk about this one first. Okay, so Shadow of the Gods is John Gwynne's newest trilogy. It is called The Bloodsworn Saga. This is book one, Shadow of the Gods. If you know anything about me, you know that Faithful and the Fallen by this author, which is the first book is Malice, that little small one in the corner. That's the first book in the Faithful and the Fallen series, and it's my favorite book series I've ever read in my entire life. And a lot of people actually say that they like Shadow of the Gods and the Bloodsword Saga in its entirety more than Faithful and the Fallen, so I am actually like so prepared. I'm so prepared to be obsessed with the series. There's just something about how John Gwynne writes his characters and his descriptions of the surroundings, and especially if you are like a battle person, like you love a good battle, he does such a good job at making you so immersed within the war and like the hand-to-hand combat. Like it's so immersive and descriptive, and I can picture everything, which is crazy that he's able to really help me picture exactly what he's putting on a page. This book has some Norse-inspired mythology and like Vikings and things like that. It is immediately gripping. This is a multi-point of view story, and I have been keeping track of who we are following just during their like first chapters that they show up, so that if I don't remember who someone is, I can easily go back to refresh the mem, you know what I'm saying? But from what I'm gathering, we're following three separate like situations. One of our main point of views is Orca, and she is a huntress on a perilous quest. There is also a noblewoman named Elvar who is pursuing battle battle fame, and a thrall seeking retribution among the mercenaries known as the Bloodsworn. This thrall's name is Varg. A thrall is basically like an enslaved person. Like he has this like metal collar that has a key and I think a leash as well. There's already been quite a few like gory scenes and battles that have happened, and I'm only on page like 56. True John Gwynne fashion. He holds no punches, and it is a little bit intense at times, but I love it. I love him and his writing. I'm still pretty early on in the book entirely, but also just within every point of view, I'm still learning exactly what's going on and what each motivation is for each part of the story and how they intersect with each other. So the goal today is to read 225 pages. I think that I will focus on Shadow of the Gods today to get pretty far into it so that I feel like I have like a footing in this world. And that's really exciting because I've been wanting to read this book for forever. Let's get into it. Welcome to the vlog. Thank you so much for being here and participating in the polls if you did or currently are. Little do you know, but let's get into it. Let's go.
I thought it would kill me. I thought it would kill me to fall again, but I hit the ground running, so I didn't feel a single thing.
Hi, hello. I owe you a reading update. Since I updated you this morning, now it's like 5:40 in the evening. I still have like 125 pages to read today, which I still think I could do or get close at least. I had planned to be like listening to this book as I like went for my run, as I, showered and did other household chore things. But this is 100% a book that I have to sit down and pay attention to. Mostly because there's a lot of words that I don't know, because it's within this culture that I'm just not familiar with. So it really is beneficial to me to see the words with my eyes. So I just haven't been able to like listen to it as an audiobook solely. I have to like sit down and read it, which is fine. I don't mind that, but I just would be farther in it if I was able to just listen to it. But I did hit the 100-page mark and it's going really well. It really does feel sort of like coming home when I'm reading a John Gwynne book. His narrator is, I think, the same throughout all of his audiobooks so far, and his worlds just like remind me of Skyrim. And I will always stand by that comparison because I grew up playing Skyrim, and it just feels like cozy to me, even though it's like absolutely brutal and gory. Like, I don't know. There's a level of coziness to it for me that I really find some peace and comfort in. And it is just so much fun to be back in a John Gwynne world and reading his book, because the way that he writes is just so compelling. It's multi-point of view like we already talked about, but you get so attached to all of the characters so quickly, and therefore you are so invested in each of their individual storylines, and you are excited to continue reading to see how all of the individual storylines are going to connect in some way. And the synopsis itself just like alludes to something so massive that is going to be happening. Like the course of these three characters that we're predominantly following are going to like change the course of the world as they know it. And it's just so good. Like his writing is one of my favorites, if not my absolute favorite in a fantasy setting. He just writes like the perfect battle scenes for me, and also like the mundane things. Like he describes everything so well. I know I already said this, but it's just astounding to me that he can write like this, and that I can picture everything so well. I still am very early, so I don't have many more concrete thoughts other than I'm so invested. I'm invested in every single character, which is awesome because it was the same exact thing with Faithful and the Fallen. I was obsessed by page 26 in that series, and I feel that happening with this book too, and that's very exciting. I am very much looking forward to reading more this evening. I think Caleb and I are going to do something kind of light and quick for dinner, maybe like a Chipotle chicken. Oh, we don't have wraps. That's so tragic. Well, I'm thawing some chicken that we had in the freezer, so we'll do something with chicken, maybe something with sweet potatoes. Oh, another reason I forgot why I'm not further than what I am right now is because I decided to post a second video this week, and I went ahead and edited it. It's just my top 10 favorite romance books of all time. That will be out before this video, so I'll leave it linked down below if you want to check it out. And that took a couple hours, I mean, it's no small thing. But yeah, Caleb actually just got home as we're yapping, so we will go ahead and take Avi on her evening walk, shower. I already showered. I'm waiting for my hair to dry. Caleb will shower. We will make dinner, and then we'll settle in for a cozy evening. I'm also charging my Switch because I miss it, so we might be playing some cozy games at some point this week as well. I played RuneScape last night. I am a RuneScape girly through and through, and it actually matches these vibes pretty well. So maybe I'll play that later. I don't know, but I still have to read like 125 pages, so I do have to focus and lock in a little bit tonight. But I'm excited to do that, so let's go.
My mind was occupied, man, I was on a high.
Hello friends, good morning. I feel like I actually slept pretty good last night. Like I feel pretty rested, which is great news because we have a carryover pages from yesterday. So whatever color you guys chose on Instagram for today's color, I will be adding the leftover pages from yesterday. I was supposed to read 225 and I ended up reading 147. That did get me to page 169. So it's not nothing, but I was just really tired. And honestly, if it gets to a point where I feel like if I continue, I don't know if I'll like retain anything. I'm gonna stop and go to bed. So that means we have 78 carryover pages to do today on top of what color you guys chose. So this is the poll that I put on. There was orange, purple, red, and blue. These are the corresponding page numbers associated with each color. I think that orange or blue is gonna win. Maybe purple, but I don't know. It feels like since fall is happening, orange might be a little bit of the vibe. Blue's just always a safe color. So let's go see. And just to follow up from yesterday, green did end up winning and the blue book did end up winning as well. So we are in good shape from yesterday as well as Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. Ooh, okay. Okay, that's great news for me. That's great news. Honestly, if I needed help on any day, it probably would have been today. So thank you. By overwhelming majority, purple actually is winning. And it's winning by over 200 votes in comparison to the second place winner, which would be blue. So purple was 50 pages. That's great. Don't forget we have to add 78 to it, but that's only 128 pages. That's doable, I say, with anxiety in my voice. That would definitely put me past the halfway mark, give or take, which would be a great place to be at. I say that I need help today out of any other day because I mean, I do have tomorrow as well, but I still need to edit last week's vlog for this Sunday. Yesterday I spent time editing my like top 10 favorite romance books video, just as like a cutie little extra. There's no like rhyme or reason for why I wanted to talk about those books right now. I just thought it would be cute because I did that standalone fantasy novel book video as well, and it was received well. I'm very happy about that because I love those books so much. So I don't know, I figured I would go through the genres at least at my own pace whenever I want to do one. And so I've had that in the wings for a couple weeks and I just decided to edit it yesterday for tomorrow for a Friday video. But my Sunday videos are like my bread and butter. I post every Sunday. I will not miss a Sunday. So I have today and tomorrow to edit that vlog in its entirety. It is a long one. Man, the raw footage was like 2.5 hours or something. She was a yapper. It was the like spinner wheel vlog, the one right before this one. And it was fun. I had a great time. So yeah, I'm excited to edit it and get it out, but it takes time. So I need extra time to edit the video, meaning that I need less page requirements. So this purple, this 50 page coming in clutch. Might have failed yesterday, but that's fine. We're gonna pick ourselves back up, carry those pages over, and we're going to finish those today as well, because I think that's doable. I don't always love to like carry over punishments to the next days, but I've learned that that really only matters if I'm doing like a time requirement, like in a swapping screen time for reading time. If I have to carry over like hours into the next day, that makes the day so much harder because like my screen time already isn't that great. So if I already have to read like 4 hours and then I have to carry over even just like 1 or 2 more hours from the previous day that I didn't complete, that's so much time. But I love a page count requirement because there's like an end in sight. It's like 128 pages. Okay, that's like doable, you know? I'm learning that I much prefer like a page count requirement rather than a time requirement because when you have ADHD, you can't commit to reading for 5 hours a day. That's crazy. I can't even sit still for like 40 minutes. So many things happened over the course of those pages that I read last night before going to bed. My jaw was on the ground multiple times. Some really, really brutal some really brutal, bloody battle scenes. One thing that you'll learn about John Gwynne is that no one is safe from being hurt. Like in so many different ways, emotionally, physically. Like my heart was breaking last night reading those pages, and I am quickly realizing why Orca is a favorite because I love her. She is going like full scorched earth right now. I am just so here for her journey. I can't wait to read more. If I have one complaint, it's this. and it's so small. But it does kind of seem like John Gwynne is repeating a lot of information as well as like names for people. Like someone called another character like I think a weasel shite or something, but it was used like 5 times on one page. But as the reader taking it in, like hearing weasel shite so many times in such a short span of time, I just didn't need it. We could have mixed it up just a little bit. It also seems like we are recapping previous information we've learned, which I don't mind if it's in like a second book or like another installment in the series, because I love a recap, let me tell you. But if it's like within like 50 pages of one another, it's like, yeah, I remember. I trust your reader just a little bit to remember the story that you told 50 pages ago. Like, it's okay. We'll get there. But with all of that being said, I'm in it. I'm here for the characters. It's so refreshing because when I read The Faithful and the Fallen, like I said in I think one of the previous updates, that I loved the characters from page 26. Then I read the Time of Dread series that is like 100 years after The Faithful and the Fallen in the same world. I really didn't like that series. I only liked one of the characters. It was very hard for me to get into, which was really upsetting because like from Faithful and the Fallen, like I was like, John Gwynne's my guy, one of my favorite authors. So I'm happy to know that that just wasn't my series. Faithful and the Fallen, absolutely. Bloodsworn, it's looking like an absolutely as well, which is so awesome. I can't wait to continue. That's what we're doing today. Continuing Shadow of the Gods, which we will get at least 128 pages into today. I'm doing reading sprints with my patrons at 11. We're doing some like co-working productivity reading sprints, whatever we want to use them as, starting at like 11 a.m. So some midday sprints, which is fun. We haven't done those in a while. And I think until then, I'm going to get some editing time in and then come back to actually read during the reading sprints for Shadow of the Gods. And then we'll see where I'm at with the book and editing after reading sprints end to see what I do for the like later part of the evening. But I'm going to heat up this coffee, sit down, get some editing time in, and I'll update you when I get a little bit further, but it's going really well. And thank you guys for choosing purple today. Love you a lot. Hello friends, I have made it past the 200 page mark, which feels really good. I am almost to my requirement from yesterday. I'm currently doing sprints with my Patreon. You are sitting next to them. You guys look very cute. And now I finally, like I absolutely am seeing how things are going to start connecting. And that feels really good because I am such a visual learner that I have to keep going back to the map in the beginning and understanding like who is where in this world. Because if I have like an actual picture to know like, okay, so this group of people are here. And not only do I like understand what is happening in their respective storylines, but I can place them somewhere. Like they have like a physical place in my head now, and it just makes so much more sense. If you're a visual learner, like you will actually understand what I'm saying. If you're not a visual learner, then I probably just sound a little bit insane to you, and that's okay. I am about to put on a face mask though, because my skin has been like insanely dry. I switched from apostrophe Tret to now, what is it? Oh, Curology. And the transition actually has been really good, but lately, with the temperature changes maybe, I don't really know. I haven't been using more of my Tret, but what Tret is just like a skincare item. By the way, it's supposed to help with like acne and lines and youthful skin. I also don't say the full word because I can never say it properly and I just sound silly. But I thought that during sprints, I can sit with a face mask on, and I wanted to just update you before I put the face mask on because I'm gonna look a little bit scary for a while. This sprint is actually over in like 10 minutes, and I could have read a good number of pages during this sprint, but I actually decided to make some short form content. I decided to make a reel about the fact that I have to keep going back to the fantasy map. And I used a T-Pain song that's like really popular right now. And I think that it's really funny and it works really well. Here in a second, I'm gonna have to just not talk for a few minutes because otherwise this is gonna continue to fall off my face. So ultimately, Shadow of the Gods right now is going really well. And I just feel like much better about my understanding of everything, which I knew I would get there. Like every single time you start a new fantasy series, you really just have to trust the process. And I know that, but I also don't like feeling stupid or silly. So trusting the process is sometimes a little bit hard. However, it's always worth it. I mean, most of the time it's always worth it. And something just fell off my face. Oh, I think the chin thing, that's okay. I don't really need that anyway. Okay, amazing. Good to see you all. I am going to just be sitting here reading, finishing this sherbet swirl Alani, and having the time of my life. So here we go. Let's get these pages in. Hello, hello. I'm so happy to report that I am on chapter 29, which is page 263. Past the halfway mark by a little. And that means I have like 40 pages maximum left of today's requirement, which is great. I'm gonna get there. Wanted to do a very quick update because Avi is currently whining and demanding that I take her out on her evening walk. So that's what we're gonna be doing. But I wanted to let you know that it's going well. One thing about John Gwyn's writing style is that he doesn't typically explain things in the plot. Like, he'll explain like characters and some backstory, but he doesn't really explain big plot points. He prefers to let you read the whole story and like figure it out in like little bits and pieces. And it's not that I don't like that, but it is a little bit like frustrating and confusing at times. And that's just because like I like to understand things. I don't like feeling like I am missing something big. But at the same time, like when I start to understand something that I previously have been a little bit like confused about, that feeling is amazing. So we're slowly learning things. For example, a non-spoiler thing, just like a concept that is happening in this book. There are people that are called tainted, and that means that they have blood from the founding gods within them. So they're sort of like descendants in a way, and they are playing a huge part in many of the point of views and in different ways. Like they're being hunted, and why and how are the questions that I have. I'm not entirely sure what is happening, but I also know that I felt similarly when I was reading The Faithful and the Fallen. And I think that eventually it is going to be like a huge payoff. I think that it'll eventually, all of their point of views and storylines will make more sense within the whole world, because I know that John Gwyn does a lot of like background politics and like game making and, you know, not even just physical battles, but like mental and political battles that are going on off page even. Like, which is why it's confusing sometimes, because it's, how are we supposed to know? We're not until we do know, you know what I mean? So, you know, do I feel absolutely phenomenal? No. Am I liking it? Absolutely. I still am just loving the characters and here for their journeys collectively and separately. So, you know, I'm excited. I still have like 40 pages or so to read. Avi is currently whining at me, so I think I'm going to have a quick snack, emphasis on quick, because she is going to get her WALK here momentarily. But it was nice to sit with a face mask for a while. It was very hard to talk on sprints and it was very funny, but it was worth it. And I'm excited to sort of keep this like slow energy going for the day. I got some groceries and put those away during all of this as well. I didn't even talk about it, but we're all stocked up. I have all my Ollie Pops again, which is great. That was the driving force, by the way. I was like, oh my God, we don't have any bubbly water. We don't have any Ollie Pops. I need a fun drink for tonight. What do you mean? Of course I'm going to order groceries. And no, I can't leave the house to get groceries. I'm working. I'm doing reading sprints. These are just the things that I tell myself to make myself feel better about ordering groceries. I try not to, but you know, it is what it is. But okay, I think the rest of the evening I have, again, reading to do, which I'm excited about. I think I will also be editing maybe a little bit, but I might also play RuneScape. I might also turn on my Switch and see what happens there. Who knows? The possibilities are endless.
Aquifers and springs, baby ferns uncurling, every living thing. Be to me a mother, both hands on the wheel. Show me faded color, fields of chamomile.
Hello, happy Friday. Happy to report that I got all 128 pages read yesterday. I in fact had 156. Would you believe it? So I'm well past halfway in the Shadow of the Gods, up to page 325. So definitely going to be finishing this book today because I already know what color won from today's poll, so let's talk about it. I should know that anytime I put green, it's gonna win. I kind of thought that lavender was going to win, so this is the poll that I put up yesterday. These are the colors, and these are the page numbers that each color was associated with. I tried to do a little bit like higher page count requirement because whatever I don't read today, I will finish over the weekend. I work all weekend at the hospital and I won't be like adding more pages to my requirement because again, I'm an ICU nurse. I work 12, 13-hour shifts. It's like almost impossible for me to like do anything other than work on the days that I am working. So any pages that I get on those days, I just count as a bonus. A little pat on the back. So obviously Sage Green 1. So that's 250 pages requirement for today, which is a lot of pages, but it is attainable if I didn't have to edit an entire video. So there are 157 pages left in this book. And that means obviously that I would finish it if I wanted to read 250 pages today. So I would get this book done and read like another 100 pages in the next book in this video, which you guys already voted on. And I am excited to start that one, but I'm not entirely sure if I'll be able to start it today. I'm gonna hope that I can. I think that I'm in a good focused headspace to where I can knock out this video a little bit faster, but also if it's taking longer to edit, then it's taking longer to edit. And I just will do everything that I can to get this page requirement done, as well as all of my work. But Friday is 250 pages, a sage green day, if you will. And Shadow of the Gods is going well. I am not as obsessed with it as I kind of expected that I would be, but it is incredibly written. I love John Gwynne for his characters and his battle scenes. Like, it is so well explained, and I can visibly see every single like strike, every single block of a shield, you know, every arc of a sword or a sayax. Like I can genuinely picture what he is describing. And I feel like that's just not always the case with people who are writing fantasy books. Like, I truly have not come across another author, maybe Evan Winter with Rage of the Dragons. They did a really good job with that book too. But no one has written a battle or a war scene or a fight like John Gwynne, in my opinion. I mean, Brandon Sanderson is really good because he does bring in like the magic systems to the battles, where John Gwynne is like, it is pure like metal and steel and like pure grit and determination. There's different vibes for sure. He just does something so special, and it's really good. So all of the separate storylines, Elvar, Varg, and Orca, loving every single one of the advancements. I think we're getting even more breadcrumbs and just foreshadowing into what we are going to be experiencing. We're also very slowly getting a lot more character development within all of those three characters. John Gwynne does not info dump. He just gives you little tidbits every now and then and is like, be happy with that, you'll get more later. Which again is a little bit frustrating at times, but you know, I just know that it'll all pay off in the end because it has every other time that I've read his books. So I'm trusting the process. It's going well. I'm going to take Avi out on her morning walk, maybe pop on the audiobook and listen to like a chapter or so. And then I have to lock in and edit for quite a while, because the worst thing ever is when I don't have Sunday's video done and I work the weekend, because I hate having to stay up late in between my 2 12-hour shifts, because that just sets me up for failure for the next day. You know, I already am exhausted from being on my feet all day, and I need to at least try to get some good sleep in between the 2 shifts. So I need to finish editing this video today, which is doable. I just, you know, on top of the 250 page requirement is a little bit tough, but we'll do it. We'll get there. I don't know when, but we'll get there. Okay. I just hit page like 404 or something in Shadow of the Gods. I'm so close to being done. I took a break and took Avi for a little midday walk, made some lunch, and was just reading. I listened to a chapter on the walk, but I had to reread it. So I read a chapter twice, and then I just kept reading throughout lunch as I was sitting down, actually looking at the book. For whatever reason, I literally cannot follow this book on audio. Can't do it. It is a 100% eyeball read or immersion read, and I'm immersion reading it. It's phenomenal. I know I came in hot during this update. I'm so sorry. But what? Okay, things are really starting to happen, and I don't understand how I'm supposed to stop reading and finish editing my video. I'm a little bit upset about it. According to the audiobook, I have like an hour left. There's 2 options. I either take an hour now to finish it, and then I just lock in and edit the rest of the day. Don't think I forgot about my page requirement. I have not, but I'm just trying to get through one task at a time, okay? So the option is to read for an hour now and then finish editing later, or use the hour of the book that's left as a like carrot for me to achieve after I finish editing the video. I don't know what the right answer is. Let me see how long I have. I have quite a bit more to edit. Like a lot. I'm gonna finish the book. Okay, I'm gonna finish the book because once I get sucked back into editing, I will be there. I'll be there like there meaning right here for the remainder of the day, at least until Caleb gets home. I'm hoping to get at least most of it done before he's off work. But I'm gonna finish the book. Okay, I'll be right back. I feel silly for ever doubting Mr. John Gwynne. I feel silly. Man, it was really good. Shadow of the Gods was definitely more of a slow burn than I was expecting. Like, it was still exciting and interesting the entire time, but like the plot itself was just really slow moving to see where things were going, how things were going to connect. It took longer than I thought it would. But when it started like making sense, when we started to see why things were happening and what those things really even are, yeah, it was like unputdownable, obviously, which is why I put off editing to finish this book just now, and I'm so glad I did. The scene where like this cover now makes sense was super exciting, very cool. There was a plot twist on the very last page that now I am so excited to see where it goes. Like, my heart is broken, but at the same time, one, I expect nothing less from John Gwynne, and two, even though my heart's broken, like there is still like such like excitement and hope to continue the series. Basically. Man, the character arcs were really good. I think that the magic system is such an exciting thing because we really only scratched the surface. Like, we talked about tainted and like people who have the blood of the fallen gods like in their blood, like descendants basically. We learned a lot by the end of the book, but we were kind of in the dark for most of it, kind of left guessing. And the things that I was guessing, like I had some of it correct, but then obviously later on we got some more information that just deepened the world building and politics structure within the storyline. And I just think that the next books are going to go so hard. They're going to go so hard. They're going to be really good. I still think that this one for me is like a 4 to a 4.5, which is still a great rating. I'm super invested. I will probably pick up the second book like pretty soon, like maybe after the books that I'm like required to read for a couple things, like the book that we will be reading next in this video, since y'all voted for it via that color and emoji poll that I put on. We will be picking up Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab, which is very exciting. These are two of my favorite authors. Like, this is bound to be a rewarding reading vlog at the very least. After this, I need to read my book club pick, which is sitting behind me over there. It's Gifted and Talented by Olive Blake. Shortly after that, I would assume that I'm gonna pick up The Hunger of the Gods, which is the second one after this, because this was really good, and I definitely want to read the next installments like pretty close together so I don't like forget anything, you know? But now it's 3:40 and I am not close to being done with my video, so I need to like absolutely lock in and go edit for the next remaining part of my day. You know, I made a choice to finish the book, and that's fine. In terms of page requirement, what do we need? 250? Is that what Sage Green was? Yeah, so we need 250. I have read 153. I need 97 more pages. I honestly, like, I don't think that a total is going to happen today, but I think I can do 97 over the course of now and the weekend, especially if I am able to finish my video today. Because if I can finish editing my video, then I can read. Hopefully I get lunch breaks this weekend and hopefully I can read on my lunch breaks. And also, if I get my video done today, then I can read in between my shifts, like before bed on Saturday and after work on Sunday. There's hope to get this requirement done. I don't think that I will be able to today, but at the very least we finished a book today, which feels good. That was like my bare minimum hope for this video so far when I was like mapping things out the other day. So that's great. So I'm gonna go lock in for some editing now.
Take me to the jungle, teach me tiger law, read to me a poem, sing to you a song, drunk in my devotion, laid out on your chest, student of abandon, with you I'm blessed, all I want's a dream, we
good morning. Happy Monday. It's good to see you. It's good to not be at the hospital again because it was a busy weekend. It was the least weekend that I've worked in a while. So typically weekend shifts have potential. If you move, it's because Sammy is literally nuzzling my camera. Usually weekend shifts have great potential to be a little bit more chill just because there are less disciplines in the hospital, like walking around and rounding on your patients. So it has potential for it to be a little bit nicer, you know? The patients are just as sick, but there are just less people walking around. So, you know, sometimes bodes well to a more like chill environment. That was not this weekend. No, it was not. I had a patient that was just very strong. It would take 2 of us per limb to keep them in bed. 2 people per limb. And probably another one just for like the chest. If I have like one bit of advice for anyone ever, it's don't ride a motorcycle. Ever. Never get on a motorcycle, I beg of you. Even if you're safe, that doesn't mean that every other person driving is cognizant and aware of you. We see so many motorcyclists on our unit and it's just awful. But hi, welcome back. Even though I don't really want to. I'm drinking some pre-workout. I'm gonna get a quick workout in this morning because I know that I'll feel better after. Yeah, all right? It works. I hate to inform you that exercise actually feels good. Physically, mentally, emotionally, it works. I hate it, but it does. Juno's kind of in a bad mood today. Can I pet you? Oh, what a sweetie. Are you in camera? A little bit. Wow. She was just hissing at me 5 minutes ago. like full on, like fur up hissing. That's really funny. She is such a little brat. I love her. Okay, so yes, we are going to be working out this morning. We don't really have anything on the docket other than she's hissing again because Avi walked by. Anyways, I don't really have anything planned during the day other than later this evening. I believe that I'm hanging out with my friends. Gonna have a little like wine and birthday celebration because it's both of their birthdays within a week. So we usually try to like do something all together. I'm really excited about what I got them for their gifts. I don't want to talk about it here yet because they both watch my videos. Hi guys, I love you. And they're not going to be here in time, so I won't be able to give them their gifts today, but whenever they come in, I will be able to wrap them and give them to them. So when they come in, I'll show you, maybe in the future. But I have a lot of time to read today, which is great because we have cracked in to Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. This is the one that you guys chose via that blind color emoji poll. I probably already said it sometime in this video, but I've had the arc for this book for months. And it was so intimidating to me because I love V.E. Schwab so much. And I was just scared of not liking it, even though that is the silliest thing that I could ever think, because I have loved every single thing I've read by her. And this is described as toxic lesbian vampires, so like, why wouldn't this be a 5-star? I don't know. Maybe I was also just scared of reading it and then not being able to read it again for the first time, which is also silly, but you know, reader problems. I think I'm on page like 67 or 68. I was listening to it during Avi's walk this morning, so I have to figure out exactly. But one thing I am happy about is the fact that I am reading it now so that I can experience the audiobook because it has an amazing lineup of narrators. It has Julia Whalen, Katie Leung, and Marissa Callan. They're all incredible, and I love them a lot. So it's a really great experience to be able to listen to it as well as immersion read it when I am sitting down, which I will be doing a lot of today because the color poll it's looking good for like our purposes of this last day and a half-ish of this video. So the numbers that I assigned to the colors for these last final days are a little bit high to accommodate the goal of finishing the book. Speaking of, the last time that we were here, Sage Green one, which was 250 pages, I honestly don't think that I was able to do that. Yeah, I was only able to read 31 pages or something all weekend because in between shifts on Saturday night, I had to stay up until like 12:30 to finish editing yesterday's video, which I hate doing. I talked about it in previous videos before. It is so rough having to stay up in between 12, 13-hour shifts because you're then on the second day of work running on like little to no sleep. And also the sleep isn't that restful because right before you lay down, you have been on your computer in front of a screen and your brain is so on, like trying to edit and finalize things and, you know, a little bit anxious that like the export won't work and, you know, it's just not restful sleep either. So Sunday was exhausting and I was just tired. On top of that, I did get to eat at work, which is great, but the breaks were kind of short. It was mostly just enough time to eat and go back to the unit. So not a very productive reading weekend. So that means, let's see. Okay, so I I was 45 pages short. And I could say that I will add it onto today's requirement, but today's requirement is already going to be pretty big, honestly, because let's see. These are the colors that you guys were choosing between, and these were the numbers assigned to each color. Green has been winning every single time, so I was like, okay, let me put like a manageable number in green, and I think it might bite me in the ass. So it looks like the poll has only been out for an hour. Oh, mint green is winning. When I checked like 15 minutes ago, burnt orange was winning, which is the 325. If mint green does win, and that means 200, I will try to add on the 45 and like redeem myself a little bit. So like 200 to 245 would be the goal. Hello? Why? So the moral of the story today, since I didn't put the poll up last night, we have to wait for it to like finish a little bit more at least. It is either going to be 200 or 245 versus 325. So basically I'm just going to like start reading, and later today I will keep checking the poll, see what my end goal is going to be via the colors that you guys are choosing, which is great. Great fun. But Bury Our Bones in Midnight Soil is even more annoying because it's great. It's perfect. It's going to be minimum 4-star. I will be surprised if it's not a 5-star book for me. There's something about V.E. Schwab's writing that it obviously works with a lot of people, but like me too. I love it. I truly do think that with every single book that she is writing, she just gets better and better. This book is following 3 women. One of them is in 1532. Her name is Maria. Maria is a young girl who is married to a viscount, and so she becomes a viscountess. She goes to live on his estate and sort of like is the overseer of the property. And she has always sort of dreamed of escaping her small town, and she's always been wildly adventurous and like hard to contain. But in this time period especially, she knows that she can always ever be a prize or a pawn in the games played by men until an alluring stranger offers an alternate path. Maria makes a desperate choice. She vows to have no regrets. That's going to be a vampire offering her an alluring choice, and I can't wait. We also have a point of view in 1827 London. Her name is Charlotte. I have not met her yet in the book, so I don't know what's going on with her, but it says a young woman lives an idyllic but cloistered life on her family's estate until a moment of forbidden intimacy sees her shipped off to London. Charlotte's tender heart and seemingly impossible wishes are swept away by an invitation from a beautiful widow, but the price of freedom is higher than she could have imagined. I don't think that I've met her yet. No, I have not. And then the third woman we're following is Alice, and she is in 2019 Boston. She basically has moved away for college and is excited for her chance to finally reinvent herself and become someone new. I think she's from Scotland, though. She's moved halfway across the world, leaving her old life behind. I feel like it's Scotland, wherever Outlander was filmed. Hold on. Because they made a comment that like people keep saying she sounds like Outlander. Scotland, look at me go, wow. But our main character Alice, who I feel like I'm going to really, really love, has like an out of character one night stand with someone she meets at a party whose name is Lottie, and I am so excited to see more from her. But that one night stand leaves her questioning her past, her present, and her future, and Alice throws herself into the hunt for answers and revenge. And I love how in this synopsis there are some text in like yellow, and those words say, this is a story about hunger, this is a story about love, this is a story about rage, this is a story about life, how it ends, and how it starts. And I love how V.E. Schwab has structured this, because this story is about hunger is directly related to Maria. And in her passages, she talks about how she is always hungry, how she can eat all her fill, but she will never feel satisfied. She is always still hungry for more in like so many ways. And I love that concept. I think it's a beautiful way to talk about desire, you know? And then the second one is This is a Story About Love. That's directly related to Charlotte, which I don't know anything about Charlotte yet personally from the book, but she is the one who had a forbidden intimacy that gets her shipped away to London, and she has a tender heart. So like she might be like the more sweet point of view. And then This is a Story About Rage is about Alice and how she probably feels like she's never fit in anywhere. She's sort of the outlier, and she finally feels seen with this person she has a one night stand with, and then, you know, wakes up and the person's gone, and she, I'm guessing, is just going to feel rage and seeks revenge. I don't know what that's going to mean, but I can't wait to find out. It's right behind me, isn't it? But yeah, hi, welcome back. I've been very yappy this morning. Let's go get a quick workout in. Wow, I really don't want to. I really don't want to. Oh, one more thing to yap about. Can we talk about the fact that it is 63 degrees? It's happening. I really hope it's happening. I'm so ready for fall. It's insane. And this book is just kicking off that vibe for me. So let's go work out. We'll start to get our pages in. I think that I'm gonna play some video games today. You heard it here first. It has been so long since I played Call of Duty or my Switch. I think I deserve a little bit of games. So big plans for the day. Hello friends. I've had quite a busy day. Like I mentioned earlier, my girlfriends and I are meeting tonight to hang out and celebrate their birthdays. We're actually going to have it here. So I spent the whole day cleaning the house, and I could have just done a little tidy because it really wasn't super dirty. But I decided to hyperfixate and continue listening to Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, and decided to like do some deep cleaning things that I've been putting off for a very long time, like the bathtub and the shower liner, and vacuuming even the upstairs, not just the downstairs. Put away all the clothes. Like I did all the things, and it feels good. Of course it does. So now I'm happy to report that I have been kind of moving right along in this book. I'm on page 216, which is right around there. Not quite halfway, but almost halfway. I've been checking the poll to see what color is going to win for today. And what was it, like rust orange or burnt orange and mint green have been neck and neck all day. How long have you been sitting there? I just started scrolling. Okay, let's check the poll. Oh my God, it's still the same, guys. It has been 8 hours, and burnt orange and mint green are still neck and neck. Burnt orange is at 29% and mint green is at 28%. Not helpful. Tomorrow's poll is way more obvious of which one's gonna win. But if we remember, burnt orange. I hate the new iPhone photos. I hate it so much. It's so dumb. It is so not intuitive, and I hate it, and I could talk about it forever. Anyways, burnt orange is sitting at 325 and mint green is the 200. So far today I have read 164 pages, which I would almost be at the mint green requirement. But alas, right now the burnt orange one is winning, so I'm going to try to aim for that one. I do have a little bit more time until friends come over. It's 4 p.m. right now. They're coming over around like 6:45 or 7. And I know I said I was gonna play video games and stuff today, but I can't predict what my body is gonna want to do for the day. Like truly, if you want a realistic week in the life video for me and who I am, it's this. It's telling you the plan for the day and then doing literally the exact opposite. I had planned to sit on the couch, play video games, read the book, and like that was it. And instead I have worked out, cleaned the entire house, put away laundry, and now I'm gonna keep reading. So that part is the same, but that's just so funny to me because yeah, like of course I do like want to play video games, but I'm enjoying this book so much, like so much, that I wanna keep reading. Since I have a little bit more time until dinner, I'm going to make my little hyperfixation snack, which is a tortilla, almond butter, and granola sprinkled in, and like you roll it up. And it's like a little roll up. I don't know, it's really tasty. And while I do this, I want to tell you about Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil because Miss Ma'am here is killing it. I love this so much. Many of the scenes that we're seeing, especially with Maria, are so like classic vampire, and they're so classic, like almost A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. And I'm sitting here, I'm trying to remember, have I met Charlotte yet? I feel like I have. We're really focusing on Maria and Alice's point of view, but Charlotte has definitely been like name dropped. No, I just remembered. Wait, you need to understand that was so genuine. Wow. No, I know who Charlotte is. Wow. Okay, yeah. Now I'm remembering exactly the moment in the book when we were told who Charlotte was, and I was like, oh, that's good. And then here I am remembering again and doing the exact same thing. Oh, that's good. Okay, anyways, I'm loving so much, like everything about this book, but I really like V.E. Schwab's perspective of these women and how they're kind of viewing vampirism? How they're viewing vampirism differently and how they are handling being turned into vampires. Seeing how they're learning what it means to be a vampire and learning all of the different like nuances that they have to like live by and abide by, and, you know, coming across them in sometimes very genuine, accidental ways it's just been very refreshing, because the way that they are learning is also how we're learning, in a sense that like there's not just someone telling them, okay, now you can't go out in sunlight, you have to be invited into into a house. Like, we're finding out some of the classic things about a vampire, but also some new things that I feel like are just being explained and written in such a fun way. And of course, this is all with V.E. Schwab's beautiful lyrical prose. The atmosphere, top tier. The depiction of what she is trying to write in terms of rage, hunger, and love. Yeah, obviously. It shines so vividly in their respective point of views, even though we haven't gotten Charlotte's point of view. But I would also argue that Maria's point of view is also so much rage, because so much has been taken from her at such a young age, because at that time you're supposed to just, be married off and basically just give heirs, give children. And she has never and does not want that for herself. And the way that her point of view particularly has grown and evolved, man, some surprising things have happened. I just love her absolute commitment to herself and what she wants and doesn't want. It's refreshing. So much about this book is just, I don't know, refreshing. I haven't used that word to describe a story in a very long time. I don't know if ever, because this book is also very brutal. It's very perfect for spooky season as well. So if you're looking for a recommendation, I can already tell you that this is going to be on my recommendation list, if not everyone else's. So, get on it, basically. Respectfully, and with love. I think you'll like it. Look, now I'm going to roll this up. Let's get the bag out of the way so that it's more aesthetic. Look at this. Wow. That's not aesthetic. Everything's so clean in here. It feels so good. And you just roll it up. Sometimes you gotta spread out the granola so that it rolls a little bit more evenly. Wow. What a time to be alive. And then I usually cut it in half and then eat the sides that way. But also, you can just roll up the end like a little taco so that you don't get little crumbs kind of falling out. You just hold it a little bit aggressively, but it's a great snack. I also think that Alice's view has been really interesting because it's definitely taking a more obviously modern approach towards the story because it's set in 2019. So it's been really fun to see the differences in the storylines. And I just feel, I don't know if we already know this or not, but I feel like all of these storylines are going to connect at some point. I feel like they have to. If they don't, then that's fine. I don't think that I'm expecting it in a way that I need it to happen, but that would be really cool. So yeah, this is looking to be sort of like a 5-star read, I have to say. And I have suddenly many more pages to read and less time than I thought I would have. But now I'm going to eat my snack and take Avi on an evening walk and just sit down, honestly, and read until it's time for friends to come over, because now the house is ready. Last thing I really have to do is take Avi out, because then she'll be ready to hang out with everyone too. She'll get some porch time while the boys have a cigar. Us girlies will be in here eating pizza, yapping, having wine. The boys can eat pizza too. We'll allow it, but not in the very beginning. They have to go away for a bit. Also, I'm drinking my favorite thing ever, my Witch's Brew Alani. It's so funny to me because everyone at work knows how much I love them, and sometimes my coworkers will just surprise me with a Witch's Brew at the station that I'm charting at, and I'll just come back from being in my patient's room to a little gift. So cute. But okay, I'm going to eat this and do all the things that I just said. We have a lot of pages to get to, so let's go do it. Hi, good morning. I kind of am sitting in a very, very prominent spot, so I'm probably gonna go as fast as I possibly can. I just got out of ceramics. It actually went really well today. At the end of last week's session, I tried to throw a couple new items on the wheel, and all 3 of them just ended up not working out for different reasons, all 3 of them. And so today I had our instructor kind of sit with me for 5 minutes and just give me pointers on what I might be doing wrong. And the things that she told me helped so much. I threw 4 things today. It was great. Did I take a video of the 4 things? I think I did. Yes, I did. Because one of them was like a classic kind of like straight mug shape. Another one was almost like a little rounded one. It could look like the top of a cauldron, and that's what I'm going to try to turn it into. I'm going to like trim the bottom to make it more of a like a bulbous thing, and then I'm going to try to attach feet to it. I don't know if I'll attach feet. That might be really hard to do, but I want it to kind of look like a cauldron, and I'm excited about it. And then the 2 small ones are just little espresso mugs, which is adorable. Throwing something so small is actually so hard. I thought it would be easier, and it just simply was not. And my instructor was like, yeah, no, like throwing small things is sometimes a lot harder than big things. So I was actually kind of proud of myself. But okay, we have some catching up to do on the page requirements for this video. It is Tuesday. This is the last day of the vlog because I will be finishing Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. I have clay dust all over it and it's fine, but I'm past halfway. I stayed up till 12:30 reading last night. I could barely keep my eyes open by the end, but let me tell you what my thought process was. All right, let's look at the polls and see what ended up winning. Burnt orange ended up winning 30%, mint green was 28%. So if you remember, burnt orange was 325 and mint green was 200. I made it to page 302 last night, and that means that I read for 250 pages yesterday, which is more than the requirement for the mint green, but not quite the requirement for the burnt orange. I still honestly am considering that a win because I did everything I could. So many people are walking by. He straight up walked right in front of my car and like looked at me the whole time. I should have parked somewhere else. But technically I failed, but I'm gonna count it as a win, personally. There are 231 pages left in the book, and I plan on finishing it today. It's already 1:30 because I stayed late after pottery because they have open hours after our class. So I stayed late and like continued to throw and do things. But these are the colors, and this is the poll that I posted 2 days ago. Little candy corn action. These are the page numbers that are associated with each color. Yellow 1. So that's 250, which is perfect because I only need 231 to finish this book. The goal of the day is to finish the book, and then there evidently will be like, what, 29 pages or something. If that's wrong, I don't care. I've never been able to do mental math, and I'm not going to start now. Bury Our Bones just keeps getting better and better. I truly am just loving every single page that I'm reading, and to be completely honest, I just can't wait to sit down and read it. So that's what I'm going to go do. I'm actually sitting outside of where I normally get coffee on Tuesdays especially. I don't need any like beans. I don't need any like coffee bags, but I am going to stop and eat some lunch outside because they have a little patio here. It's so cute, and the food is so good, especially because I haven't yet eaten today. I had a protein shake on the way to pottery, but now I'm absolutely ravenous. So it is 100% time for me to eat some food. I'm gonna read my book while I eat lunch, and then we're gonna go home and get Avi. But I wanted to let you know what the plan was for the day, which the plan is literally only to finish this book. I know I said yesterday that I was going to like play video games and read, and I deep clean my house instead. Today is actually that's the plan. That's the actual plan, because I work tomorrow at the hospital, so I definitely want to relax today. I will be finishing this book. I also downloaded Tiny Bookshop last night, and I am so immediately obsessed with it. Caleb was laughing at me because he was like, you don't get enough of recommending books in your real life and you want to play a video game about it? And I was like, yes, obviously. I literally live for this. It is so cute. I've only played like 2 days so far, so I don't know much, but I do know that I'm obsessed with it, and I will be playing when I get home. So I'm going to have to balance my time between Tiny Bookshop and finishing Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, but I need to eat food, so let's go get lunch. The fact that I'm sitting outside in a long sleeve and jeans right now is insane. Like, my feet are cold outside. That's crazy. I know that it'll probably all change back to being hot for a while, but for now, the weather here is stunning. Wow, what a time to be alive. We're getting so many answers right now. I'm on page 463. I'm so close to being done. Everything is coming together. All the plot lines, all the characters. We're seeing how their lives are interconnected. It 100% is toxic love lesbian vampires, and it is not disappointing. It's brutal. It's gory. It is sad. It is exciting. It'll probably be 5 stars. It's almost 5 p.m. and I think I'll have like an hour left of this book. Ooh, 52 minutes. I'm actually kind of cold. That's crazy. So we're gonna go inside and just sit and read until Kayla gets home. I think he should be home relatively on time, and I'm not sure what the rest of the evening will look like aside from our normal evening routine, like Avi's walk, shower, dinner, those types of things. So chances are that I will come back later, probably on Thursday after work tomorrow, to like close out the vlog and give you like final thoughts on this book, because I do kind of want to like sit with it and like think about what I want to tell you, because so far so much has happened between all of these women, and the feat of this novel I think is just beautiful. It's amazing. I love V.E. Schwab. So I will be back whenever I'm back, but it has been such a lovely day. Wow. Hello, welcome back. I finished Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by Miss V.E. Schwab. And this entire time I've been saying it's going to be 5 stars. There's no way it's not going to be 5 stars. It's so good. It feels like a 5-star read. Babe was a little bit too overconfident with that one. Babe is me. I am Babe. First and foremost, it is still a beautiful book and I do recommend it. I, however, will end up giving it like a 4 to a 4.5, which is obviously still great. Like I'm not trying to be overly dramatic, but I was fully expecting like a full 5-star. And it was looking that way for most of this video. But for whatever reason, the ending just did not land for me. Not really much at all. It kind of felt like it was like a slow burn, and then it really ramped up towards the end. And then the final scene, or maybe the final like couple scenes, felt like short. They felt like kind of anticlimactic for me. And like maybe that's what V.E. Schwab was trying to do, that like things can end like very swiftly. Like, I don't know. Maybe it was a style choice. I respect the craft. I respect the book. I respect her as a writer and a person. I just didn't like it. I wanted something a little bit extra, a little bit over the top with like a maybe more long drawn out scenes at the end, at least, is what I'm referring to. So the ending specifically is what ended up not working for me, but everything else really did work for me. I loved the themes in this book. I loved the like feminine rage, hunger, all of those themes that we're talking so thoroughly about in every single point of view. Beautifully crafted, beautifully talked about and written. V.E. Schwab's writing is very quotable. It's very beautiful. The gothic elements for the atmosphere were stunning. I loved how we were receiving the information, how we learned about all of these different women and their journeys separately and together. It was beautiful. I really loved it. I loved it up until the last, like, I don't know, chapter or 2, which is such a bummer, which I still don't think that it was a bad ending. I just wanted something different. I was expecting something different, I guess, or at least much more drawn out and dramatic. But, you know, I still recommend this. I think it's a beautiful book. So I'm very happy that I finally read it. Long time coming, like I said. And that means this vlog is finally coming to an end, which is great because I'm already done editing most of it. This video is looking like it's going to be over an hour and 20 minutes, specifically for the extended edition, because I am done editing the raw footage right now. And with the spoilers in for the exclusive version of this video, it is an hour and 20 minutes. Not including this clip though, so probably going to be like an hour and a half for my patrons, which is great. Thank you for being here, regardless of where you're at, where you're watching this, either public or Patreon. Thank you for being here and hanging out with me for a little bit. Let me know down below if you've read either of these books. I'd be very curious to know what your final ratings were of them, or if now you're interested in them, because it was a great video. It was a great couple of books, 2 that I've been wanting to read for a very long time, and we finally did it. So that's exciting. If you are still watching, then down below, leave me the blood drop emoji. It's very applicable to both books, Bloodsworn and Vampires. And while you're down there, please do subscribe and like the video. I always appreciate your support. And of course, be kind to one another and happy reading. Bye.